What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the quartering, and I've got kind of a funny story. It's just a dipping a toe back into the disaster that is modern comic books. All the good writers are long gone, retired, or run out of the industry, while those that are still there have decided that are worth anything, have decided to basically pursue um, doing things on their own, whether it's through Indiegogo or other crowdfunding sources. They're just going direct to customers because that's really the best way to do it. They can make more money. They don't need distribution. They don't need all the oversight. And the latest Marvel Comics, which is the What If series, which is dumb. I don't like, I get that it's cool to try something different. I guess it's not, I don't want to say it's dumb, but it's just not for me. The idea of like imagining this particular person as this particular superhero. It just kind of conjures up this whole like the idea that we already have like so many duplicate superheroes. We have the Incredible Hulk and She-Hulk. Why? Because reasons. As the Critical Drinker pointed out, it's much easier to just duplicate and race or gender swap somebody than it is to actually create a new character with and do all the work behind the scenes. Now that's not exactly what they're doing with the What If series, because it's like, creatively consistent. This particular book imagined Thor as Miles Morales in Hood Asgard in the latest issue of What If. And if you look at the cover, he's just on the bridge here. You've got graffiti in the background. You see, written by self-professed Mexican Jewish author Yehundi Mercado as part of the current volume's overarching answer to the question put forth by the publisher, what if Miles Morales was based on a different Marvel hero other than Spider-Man? The latest issue of What If sees Miles take up the role of the mighty Thor. Though Marvel undoubtedly expected to receive a wave of praise for the latest attempt to milk their half-black, half-Latino replacement for Spider-Man, originally conceived as part of, this is via Bounding into Comics, by the way, conceived as part of the Ultimate Universe before eventually being transported over to the 616 as part of publisher's Marvel Now initiative to add diversity to their line. They were instead met with a new wave of criticisms over Mercado's writing. Drawn by Luigi Zagaria, this iteration of Miles is a caricature of the African-American stereotypes, with the Black Asgardian wearing sneakers that look like Air Jordans, having his version of the Hammer Mjolnir covered in graffiti, and talking in Ebonics. What a disaster. I mean, and Twitter was so pissed off about this, too. Like, it was, like, so ridiculous that even I was like, dude, like, this is a little, like, why don't you also have him eating fried chicken and eating watermelon? Like, it was really on the nose. To the point where most of his dialogue is either poorly written original raps or references to popular rap songs. Another trope, like not all black folks like rap music. Like that's one of the most hilarious stereotypes. I suppose that's like also like not all Southern people like country music, but Southern people aren't exclusively white, so it doesn't really work that way. All white people don't like Michael Bublé. Maybe I could say that. The part which drew the brunt of fans' ire was one wherein Miles, walking through the graffiti-tagged Brooklyn, otherwise known as this universe's Asgard, takes in the sights of his neighborhood whilst expositionally, rapping to himself. Of all the 5 realms, Asgard is his hood, reads Mercado's dialogue. For Miles, you can see he's just not that good. The Rainbow Bridge takes him on his quest. The Bifrost line goes north, south, east, and west. It continues from Jormungandr to the Wrecking Crew. He's stuck Gullinbursty in the Asgard Zoo. His further assists, but he's low key when he wants to be. Name on Marquise, like his uncle Loki, Odinson, the son of gods and kings. Got so many wins. Check out all these rings. Oh my god. It's so bad. The young hero concludes he's formerly known as the Prince for sure. His subjects and friends, they just call him Thor. That doesn't even rhyme. What? That's not even a good rap. Another page as seen in his article's featured image shows Morales summoning his hammer with the command "Hammer Time," an obvious reference to MC Hammer, rap song from the early 90s. You can't touch this. At one point during the story, Miles travels with his uncle Loki into the universe, an ice-covered version of Flushing Meadows, wherein he confronts the realm's dreadlock and chains-wearing frost giants. Not only that, but during the fight, Miles' battle cries are all embarrassing references to hip-hop lingo, with a young hero crying, "Time to spin these hits." Now that was a banger, and right up your face and diss you. Oh my God. This, I mean, like, okay, maybe I'm just with the SJWs on this one. I mean, Jesus. Later in the court of his Timberlands wearing father, Miles interjects with yet another dated hip-hop reference, and this time name-dropping Tupac's famous album and shouting, "All eyes on me," as he jumps to present Odin with a birthday present. Miles' hip-hop battle cries return when he rescues the court from the frost giant attack, bashing Lawfrey into submission whilst declaring, "Ain't no party like an Asgard party, because an Asgard party don't quit." Who could possibly think that this was good writing? I mean, if you don't know why modern comics suck, I suggest you read this book. Don't pay for it. Actor and comic writer Kevin Gravereau of the New Warriors Underworld took an exception to the portrayal of Miles, stating on his Facebook page, "Straight out of Asgard. Thomeboy, really? Beta Ray Bill and Alien got a better hookup than Brother Miles. And new hammer to boot, Blonde, flat-top, graffiti on the hammer, speaking Asgardian Ebonics," he asked, wearing an Air Valhalla Nikes while he bops down the Bifrost. "Is this how they see us? I'm surprised he's not palming a basketball with the other hand and going for that 360 from the top of the key thunder dunk." I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Like, I can only imagine that, like, the author... Now, there are a lot of people complaining, like, there are reasons why black people keep asking for black characters to be written by black writers and drawn by black artists. That Miles Morales as Thor is legit one of those reasons. Yeah, I mean, probably. Or maybe just have it be written by somebody who sees black folks the same as anyone else, and understands that they do have, you know, differences that are to be celebrated, that makes them unique culturally. Maybe don't, like, just lean on all the stereotypes. Like, this person's never met a black person in their whole life who wrote this book. Miles Morales is an urban TM Thor, makes me want comics, etc. to go back to being outwardly racist. 24,000 likes. This is how the Miles Morales Thor writer feels right now. Of course, the King of Blacks meme. I mean, it's ridiculous. Now, the author has apologized, but, like, I don't know why the author's apologizing. Certainly some... not just the author, but, like, some publisher, some editor, all these people approved this along the lines. You know, unfortunately, Miles Morales is about to return to the big screen in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, so what better way to celebrate than with a special Spider-Man crossover comic? Unfortunately, the recent issue of What If, which is read by 0 people, Miles Morales didn't quite live up to expectations, so the apology is as follows. "I've taken the last few days to step back and listen, and I acknowledge your criticism for my recent issue of What If Miles Morales was Thor," he said on Twitter. "While I've lived a different experience through my own Jewish and Mexican background, I still know inauthenticity hurts, and I'm sorry to have failed on that front. I've appreciated hearing and learning from my Black and Puerto Rican comic peers, and hopes that to this moment to help promote better authenticity," he added. "I'm also going to donate what Marvel pays me to the Brooklyn Book Bodega, which works to build literacy and get more books to kids in NYC. I mean, why do you have to give up your money?" Like, these, you could tell this is the type of person that I'm almost certainly blocked by on Twitter, and although never interacting with them. Like, there's no way that this person there's just no chance. Oh, I'm not. Look at that. There's no chance that they needed to actually apologize. And if you look at this, only 100, I mean, no one even cared. Nobody cared what the author had to say. I mean, there's only 150 likes on the apology, you know, and no real comments. And also, by the way, the author of this got totally butthurt when he got criticized. You know, the dude that wrote Thor, Miles comic, is white, and he put Asgard in the ghettos. And then he replied to that person, I should have added more upskirt shots, and then you would have loved it. I don't really get that. So he had a meltdown initially to the criticism. He's just not good at his job. That's what I would imagine. And you know, comic books keep giving, you know, important characters and storylines to people who just aren't very good at it. And that's really, at the end of the day, what happened here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you click that red subscribe button down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.